60s child. Hello, it's Christmas. In this video I thought we'd go all arty-farty, so let's crack on. Now Christmas lends itself to being creative. I mean, we made paper chains, you may have made a Christmas card at school for your mum and dad, or even made a snowman out of a toilet roll. But did you ever get one of these? Painting by numbers. Remember them? You painted each little number, the colour it told you to paint it, and before you knew it, you had a masterpiece. Well, sort of. There were loads of different themes, and you could even frame them if you wanted and put them on your wall, although I don't think my mum appreciated it that much. There was religious ones, there was stingray, Airfix had one. The results varied depending how good at art you were, but do you know what? Most of the brushes they give you were rubbish, so you ended up all smudged and horrible. Anyhow, it kept us amused for a while. Now chances are you might receive some of these at Christmas. Crayons, these were wax crayons. Or you might get colouring pencils. Now come on, own up, how many have actually tasted these wax crayons? I know I did. Because you knew they were non-toxic, so you had to have a taste. Anyhow, you might even get some pencils. And there was all different ones of these. But sometimes when you opened them, they weren't even sharpened. And nobody had bothered to buy you a pencil sharpener. So you ended up using carving knife out the kitchen to sharpen them. Health and safety, eh? Now come on, admit it, when you went to school did you nick a few pencils? I know I did. But what I used to do is take my pencils in school and use one of these. It was ace for doing a lot of pencils. Remember them? So you've got your pencils or your crayons, and you usually ended up getting a colouring book of some description, and there were loads of different ones. There was your basic everyday ones like these, and you could spend hours on a rainy day colouring in. The pictures were pretty random at times, like this little girl blowing bubbles sat on a bench, but it didn't matter because we got to choose what colours we used to fill these pictures in. And then there was a really special ones like the Doctor Who one. I remember having one of these. There were thousands of these colouring books to choose from. Now you might get tubes of paint like this. I remember getting one like this one year. But I do remember these. These were made of tin and small tablets of watercolour that you wet your brush and used whichever colour you wanted. The brushes were pretty naff, as I say, but it was good fun. And then you got colouring books like these. You just use water and the colours appeared magically. Robertson's Golly even had one you could send away for. The problem with these was you either ended up putting too much water on them, or the paper was that thin that it ripped, but they weren't bad. Now some colouring books had other activities like dot to dot, remember that? I often wondered if you joined the dots up on a Dalmatian, what picture you'd get. There were stencil sets like this you could get at Christmas, although I never really had it like that. There was floral stencil sets. I think these were aimed at girls more than boys, but I'm not allowed to say that these days. There was felt craft. Ever had that? Raffia craft. Do you know any boys who played with that in the 60s? Not me. Tile craft. Now that's getting a bit more like it. Paint on velvet. That doesn't seem too bad. Dipper flower. I don't think I'd have been interested in that. There was mini printing kits you could get. Petal craft. Oh, this one. Paint your own coasters. Bits of cork with pictures printed on them. You coloured them in. There was even plaster casting kits. You could fill the mould with plaster of Paris. When they dry, you could paint them up. And what about this? Give your children some toxic resin chemicals they can mess around with and make things with. I wonder if they still sell these today for kids. I very much doubt it. What about this one? A wood burning kit. Or candle making. It just beggars belief, doesn't it, what we used to play with in the 60s. You could even make your own perfume. That's if you're a girl, I suppose. Now I love this stuff. Plasticine. Spent hours messing with this stuff until it got full of dog hairs and cat hairs or whatever, and then you had to throw it away. There was no limitations of what you could build with plasticine. You could even put it on your face and make funny masks. And there was always that one kid who abused it. And if you were lucky, you got a kit like this where there were moulds inside and you made the animals. Now you could even get this Play-Doh, but to be honest, I hated the smell of it. It just knocked me sick. I don't know what's in it, but it still does today. Now just going back to the watercolours that came in tins. I really think the artwork on them was something special. And you don't get much like that these days. So what I've done is got a collection of them together for you to browse in the last couple of minutes of this video. And all that's left for me to do is to wish you a Merry Christmas, keep safe, and I'll see you later. Well, in the new year. See you later.